Morning. So yeah, I've come out this morning today to get the 5k in. As always, the vest. Just trying to fit it in really, because I've got quite a busy day today. So figured I would head to work a little bit early and just get out for a bit. Like I said, it's also a good way to kind of clear your head and get moving before the start of the day. Still got a bit of a bad eye actually, but hopefully it's on the mend. So I thought I would talk today about kind of doing things out your comfort zone and how it's never too late, or you're never too old to kind of try new things within obviously medical reasons, but yeah. And something I've tried to do myself really over the last few years is just kind of do things that normally I would have thought, oh, I couldn't do that, or maybe I left it too late to do stuff like that. Because yeah, it's never too late, definitely. You know, even stuff like changing careers. Admittedly, I didn't do that too late. I think I was 29 when I switched from what I was doing in kind of project management to join the civil service. And then, yeah, I've never looked back really. And yeah, you know, I had to start from scratch, start maybe on a slightly lower salary and kind of work up to it. But if you back yourself, you can do it. So my advice to anyone who's in a job that's not making them happy or that they don't feel kind of fulfilled in is think about what you want to do. Find something you think, oh, actually, I'd love to go down that sort of career. And yeah, don't be afraid to start again and start at the bottom and work your way there. One of my problems I remember was when I was first year at uni, which sounds ridiculous now. I wasn't enjoying my course. And what I probably should have done is gone, no, you know what I'll do? I'll take a year out, think about what it is I really want to do, and then start again in a year. But in my head, I was like, well, I can't be a year older. I can't, you know, I can't start a course again on year 1 of 3 when I've already just done this year. So I ended up joining something in the second year along similar lines, and yeah, it didn't really, well, I got a degree out of it, but it kind of worked, but not working in that field, and can't say I got a lot from it really. So yeah, maybe that's why I've never been afraid as I've got older to start again and do things. Equally, you know, I've always been someone who's tried kind of to better myself. You know, to see far too many people will be like, oh, that's just who I am, I can't do that. Oh, I'm no good at that. You can be. I'm not just talking about, you know, activities and stuff, but even stuff kind of in your personality really, where, you know, if you're a little bit negative or you're a little bit, you got a short fuse or whatever, it's never too late to kind of work on that. And I've always been someone never have the attitude, oh, that's just how I am, that's just what I do. No, you know, better yourself and improve as a person. That's going a bit deep. But yeah, back to the kind of comfort zone question. So a couple of things I've done recently, which I've talked about in some videos, is obviously the changing careers. I've talked about I did a boxing match. Never done any kind of combat sport in my life. Admittedly, I was a bit sleep deprived when I took that on, and maybe it wasn't the smartest decision, but it's certainly something out of my comfort zone, something I've never been. I'm not a particularly tough person. I was never like in fights or anything as a kid. So yeah, it was completely new for me. I've talked about that already, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be carrying it on, I'm not going to be a boxer, but yeah, it was definitely out my comfort zone to do that, and yeah, I learned some kind of good skills really from that. I think it was a very good experience. I'd recommend everyone to do it. It was one of them ultra white collar boxing fights. The other thing I've done over the last few years is is done some kayaking, which I'm not a strong swimmer, so I was always afraid of that sort of thing, and I always thought, what if it tipples? What if I get stuck in the water? And I'm not a strong swimmer. Am I gonna die? So I was always kind of dead against it. And we did like a team building day thing at work, and one of the guys has some connections with somewhere that does kayaking. So it was like, arranged for us to be able to go out on the river afterwards and kayak. And I was like, I'll probably sit it out. It's not for me really. I'm not much of a swimmer, and I was a bit worried about it. And he convinced me. He's like, no, there's different boats. There's some that are a bit less wobbly. We can, you should do it and give it a go. And I was like, and like I say, this thing about not wanting to say no to things and actually do things out of my comfort zone. I say, why not? And absolutely loved it. And you soon learn that if you're not messing about or going crazy, it's not really going to tipple. It's not like we're going down some rapids or something. And then, obviously I'm not going to tell you now that I'm doing kayaking every week, but as you've seen, when I went to Poland, I went kayaking on that lake, and it's certainly something I want to do again. So I'm going to look into some clubs. Or I think it's great. And then the other thing a couple of years ago is the football that I was doing. I never played football at a particular level, never played for any proper teams. At school, obviously played it at school because our school was very much PE lessons where here's a ball, go out and play football. But never much of a player. And then in my early working life, I used to play five-a-side a lot with colleagues, and I really enjoyed that. But I found it was just hurting my knees, and it was taking me a long time to recover. So when I moved to London, because naturally when you get in the tube and stuff, you're doing a lot of walking up and down stairs and stuff like that, I thought, well, I'll stop that because I can't afford for my knees to be. I remember trying to play with work. They do like a sports day thing, and I signed up for I'll come and play in the footy team, and I think I played like 5 minutes and just seeing stars, couldn't run, just felt so like unfit. So I kind of gave up on it. And then a couple of years ago saw that man versus fat thing, and I thought, wanting to lose a bit of weight, let's give this a go and see how it is. And obviously it's nerve-wracking, turning up something new with people you don't know and playing a sport you're not particularly good at. And it was tough first few weeks. I think I did both hamstrings, just your body's just not used to it. But then slowly started to feel a lot fitter, started to get a little bit better at football. Still not great, but I can kind of contribute, which is good. I'm kind of seeing the benefit of that now, and it's not big level. It's it's just casual, but it's good for my fitness. It's a good bit of camaraderie as well because you're in little teams. I've enjoyed that, and I quite enjoy Monday nights now, going down there and spending time with the guys there, and it's good. But so just a few things there, but that's the thing I think it's worth kind of looking at, because I'm sure there's some stuff people look and think, I've always wanted to do that, but I'm 40 now, or I'm 50 now, I can't be doing that. Or for me, some of the things I want to get into soon is I want to do walking football. I think most of the walking football stuff is kind of over 50s, so I'm hoping if I keep playing in this sort of football and getting better, then maybe I'll be quite a good walking football player. You never know. That's something I'm going to look into in the future. The other one I've always fancied playing, which we'll see if I get a chance to do it, is hockey, like field hockey. Never really played it at school, but I used to play roller hockey with some lads when I was young, and I've always wanted to play that. So that's on the list to look at. Maybe going to see if there's any like casualty teams where you can play more casually than having to have played at a good level or played at university or anything. I appreciate it's all sport related, but paddle, I quite fancy playing paddle. I've not done that yet. In fact, that's quite a good game. You don't have to have been particularly good at tennis or anything. Apparently it's easier. But they're kind of the sport ones I'm interested in having a go at. Also, I've seen some lads the other day in my local park on a Sunday doing like American football, American football. I quite like it. I've got into American football over the last couple of years. Watching it, Kansas City Chiefs is the team I've picked. Yeah, I'm tempted to message them. I think I've seen their Facebook group and see if I can go have a go at that, because I think that'd be quite fun. But yeah, obviously I've got a young family, so these things aren't going to be done very quick. My 2 daughters are still very young, but these are the things on the list. So I think it's good to have a list of things you want to achieve outside of sport. Yeah, I need to think about that some more really, but I need to some different sort of travelling I'd like to do. Again, probably left that, well, contradicting myself there, I left that a bit late, but no, there's always time, and maybe as my girls get older, we can take them with us to different places and get them to experience different countries and travel a little bit. That's a regret I have as well, actually, is when I was young, a few of my friends went and did a month. I think they did it twice. They did a month once and 2 months in Thailand and around those areas. And at the time I was like, oh, no, I can't take a month off. And because I was, again, obsessed with thinking, oh, I've got to keep working hard in my career at this age because I want to progress and get noticed. When actually you've got plenty of time. If anyone's watching this in your 20s and you're obsessed with work, just chill out a bit, honestly. I turned down so many things because I was like, well, no, I need to be on top of my work at work. I need to be seen. If I'm away, then other people might take opportunities. In the end, I got made redundant. So yeah, it's best thing to do is just seize these opportunities and moments and yeah, enjoy yourself, and don't think you can't do something, and don't think you can't improve on yourself. If you're quite self-aware and you know that there's a particular aspect to your personality or how you are that you know people aren't particularly fond of, maybe lose that attitude of that's just me and look to improve on yourself, look to focus on it and be a better person. Anyway, I think this video is probably one of my longest, so I'm going to cut it short there. If you like watching these videos, I appreciate if you can give me a subscribe. Doesn't really do anything for me, but it doesn't do anything for the channel really, but it does. It really helps my self-esteem and gives me a little buzz every time that little follower thing goes up, 1 or 2 each week. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you on the next video.